From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 26th, 2025. Rockets were once again fired at southern Israel from Gaza today. The IDF said 2 launches were detected that crossed into Israeli territory from the center of the Gaza Strip. Israel's Air Force successfully intercepted one of the rockets. A fall was detected in the Zimrat area of the other rocket, apparently. The IDF saying the details are under investigation. There were no injuries reported. Palestinian Islamic Jihad terror group claimed responsibility for the attacks. The IDF later said it hit a terrorist identified in the area from which the launches were carried out towards the Gaza envelope. The building from which the launches were carried out and 2 launch sites in the area were subsequently hit as well. And a rare sight in Gaza. For the second day in a row today, hundreds of Palestinians protested against terror group Hamas's rule in Gaza and against the war, where some reportedly burned tires and chanted Hamas out. Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar addressed the situation in Gaza as he met today with his Swedish counterpart, Maria Malmer Stenergard, in Jerusalem. Regarding the situation in Gaza, Sa'ar said by insisting on continuing to hold the hostages and refusing to demilitarize the Gaza Strip, Hamas is pushing for a renewal of the war in Gaza. He said Israel will no longer accept the continued threat to its security and its citizens from the Gaza Strip. Sa'ar also said that alongside the IDF's ongoing activities in Gaza, the scope of which is currently limited, we are permitting the dialogue, referring there to negotiations, to reach its limits, to achieve an agreement on extending the ceasefire and facilitating the release of the hostages. However, Sa'ar said we will not wait indefinitely. The 59 hostages who remain held in Gaza have now been captive for 537 days. Well, a recently released hostage is sharing his love, his strength, and his pancakes with the public. The Keith Siegel Pancake House opened today, a 3-day pop-up at the Sarona Market in Tel Aviv, honoring the American Israeli and his family who used to make pancakes every weekend until October the 7th, when Keith and his wife Aviva were both brutally abducted during the Hamas massacre. Aviva was released in November of 2023, but Keith was held hostage by Hamas for 484 days. And now Israeli pastry chefs from top culinary schools across the country have come together to share his recipe and, more importantly, his family's message of hope and their urgent call to bring all of the hostages home. Fellow former hostages Liri Albag and Naama Levy were among those who stopped by the Pancake House today, as did charge d'affaires ad interim at the U.S. mission to Israel, Stephanie Hallett, who wrote, "Keith's courage and strength are an inspiration. His harrowing accounts of being held captive by Hamas terrorists for 484 days are a solemn reminder of the imperative to secure the release of the 59 hostages still in Gaza. We won't rest until all the hostages come home." The Israel Philharmonic is wrapping up its U.S. tour, having performed this past week in cities across Florida and California, including Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and tonight in Costa Mesa. The tour is presented by American Friends of the Israel Philharmonic and conducted by music director Lahav Shani, who spoke of the role music can play, especially in the most difficult of times, saying the Israel Philharmonic remains deeply committed to the power of art and its ability to inspire, connect, and heal. The Israel Philharmonic will be coming back to the United States in October for a 4-concert residency at New York City's iconic Carnegie Hall. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, March the 26th. At 7 o'clock, David Harris speaks with Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch of New York City's Stephen Wise Free Synagogue, a leading Reform Jewish voice who presents a compelling vision for the survival and success of American Judaism, support for Israel, and the need for Zionist education. At 7:30, Jonah Platt is joined by award-winning producer of film, television, and theater, his father, Marc Platt. At 9, Phyllis Chesler is on L'chaim. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 26th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.